Got a new toy. I've been wanting to upgrade my boom mic situation, and I settled on the MKE600 from Sennheiser. I've been a Rode NTG guy for pretty much my entire film career. And I just noticed everyone's been switching to Sennheiser. So I wanted to get the 415 or the 451, I forget what it's called, the one that costs like $1,000. But I decided to opt for this. So I'm going to try it out. If it works, great. If not, I'm going to upgrade again. But yeah, I'm going to use this tomorrow and see how it goes. And this is arguably the toughest part of my day. Starting my day off loading and unloading the truck. I used a rock and roller push cart. It's really strong. I had it for a couple years now. The hardest part for me, though, is sort of playing Jenga or Tetris with all the gear to make sure none of it falls off. I have a tendency to wheel this thing and cases just drop. If you'll see in like dip, see right there, boom. So that this is I don't know if any of you guys have this experience, but it's a chore. And then once I figure it out, I'm like, this is great. This is how I'm gonna do it. And then I completely forgot the setup. But either way, with a few straps, and the accessory for the front of it with the bag where you can put the C-stands in, everything's good. And everything holds in well. I actually got the rock and roller platform to put on top of this, so I'm going to try that out on the next shoot, and hopefully it helps my situation. And this is, I think, every one-man band videographer out there can feel this pain. This is me trying to wheel this giant cart through the most narrow door without anyone's help. It was a challenge, and definitely a call to get a PA, but when you're one-man bands, you gotta do what you have to do. And of course, the shooting location is a flight up, so I had to lug all this gear one by one by myself. So this is what I call getting paid to go to the gym, because the next day I felt it. I was like, wow, I was really sore. But again, you just have to do it. Luckily, you always gotta think to yourself, at least it wasn't 3 flights of stairs, just one. And the cool thing is, at the end of the day, they actually helped me unload, so I didn't have to go through this hell at the end of it. But yeah, it's rough. It's tough life, but somebody's got to do it. So when I get to the set, I like to talk to the client a little bit, just sort of get on the same page, get a game plan. It's my first time meeting this client, so, kind of break the ice and talk a little bit while I set up. My plan usually is I find a frame, and sort of loosely get my cameras in place. And once I kind of have like it 90% of the way, where I know what the close-up and the wide is going to be, then I can start setting up lights. And luckily he sat in for me, so that always helps. I think the tough part being a solo shooter is not having someone there to sit in while to frame up. So we're using the A7IV SB camera on a Tamron 70 to 180. I think I punch into 130 millimeter. And with the FS7 with the 35 SLR Magic Cine lens. And for lighting, we have the Aperture 300D with the light dome softbox. Again, if you saw in my other vlogs, this is like my go-to setup. Absolutely easy to use, gorgeous lighting, and I put a grid on there just so it doesn't spill everywhere. And then for hair light, backlight, I have my 60X just to kind of like separate them a little bit from the background, and also light up that little bookshelf. This thing is really cool. So I was on YouTube, someone bought this for their lights. It's basically like a shower cap diffusion instead of using a big softbox. And it's like one less piece of gear you have to carry. Basically I just throw it on there like that. And it didn't burn or anything, and it just softened it enough without dulling it completely. And then for audio, I'm using the MK600 for the first time. And man, oh man, do I wish I got this mic way sooner. It is absolutely gorgeous. When I do audio, I like to do the boom and lav them up if possible. But this was so good when I was monitoring the audio. There was times we forgot to mic the lav them up, and I was like, wow, it sounds really good. I'm like, wait, that's just a Sennheiser. So I'm thinking maybe in some certain cases I might be able to get away with just doing the boom. But for me, I'd rather have everything as backup. And this is relatively the setup I had. There's the A7IV with the 70 to 180 lens zoomed in for a close-up, and then it's the FS7 on a SLR Magic 35mm Cine lens. I also have it on with my Atomos Ninja Fire monitor, which has an in and out, and the out is going out to this OC monitor that I picked up a while back. And what's cool about this monitor is you can do side-by-side panel like this, so you can see both angles, which helps really dial in your framing. And basically, it's really easy to move and travel with, fits in one case. And what's cool is you just plug in your HDMI from your out, and now you're able to sort of see both angles. And what I did was I think I added an HDMI switcher with a remote control, so I was able to toggle back between each shot, because it doesn't do it as smooth internally on the OC, I believe. So I had to kind of like think outside the box here, and it can do a four panel, so you can plug in 4 more inputs and see all 4 angles on this screen. So I think it's a wonderful monitor. The colors are pretty good. I like having my LUT on my FS7 as well, just so I can see and match focus. And then this is my Tascam that I have my Sennheiser and my Sony Lav piped into, so I'm able to monitor audio, look at the video, check focus, have the monitor there, see the lighting. This was as efficient for me of a setup as possible. I absolutely love it, and the results are great. And as you can see here, it does help having someone there to interview. Sometimes I'm doing interviewing myself, and it's just a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I got the OC, so I can kind of prop it in front of me and see what's going on, make sure we didn't lose focus or the batteries died or whatever. So this was actually a really smooth setup for me. And this is just some sample shots I did, shot on, in S-Log 3. This is the A7IV angle, not graded, and this is one of the wides we did for the FS7. For the FS7, for the first part of the day when the sun was out, we went wider, and it's actually a nicer frame. This one, when the sun went down, we had to move out of the window, so I just kind of cropped in a little bit and made a little bit of a tighter shot, just to give a little variation, because there was a lot of interviews. So many of you are always asking, like, what does the final shot look like? So I just kind of sat in there real quick and threw on a little color correction LUT, just to show you what it will potentially look like. Again, I'm still even edit this video yet, so none of this is final, but I want to just give you, an idea of what one of the shots look like. Yeah, so that kind of is an overview of what it's like to do 17 sit-down interviews as a one-man band, and it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit intense, but overall, it's all good, and it's a great learning experience. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that's watched and subscribed or liked or interacted with me. The whole point of this really is to sort of learn, to make mistakes, to showcase, to be transparent, and to also network with other videographers and learn from them. So it's been a really good experience so far, and I look forward to keep doing these things as much as I can. So keep watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.